Hello and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today on A Vogel Talks Menopause I'm going to be talking about internal trembling, vibrating, shaking in the menopause and the perimenopause. If you like my tips and advice, then please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. So a lot of women are coming to me with this. They feel that they're sort of trembling, there's vibrational feelings going on, buzzing or shaking or quivering just right inside. So this can happen in the perimenopause and the menopause itself. So I thought today I would have a closer look at why this happens, what causes it, and what you can do to help yourself. Now, I know that during the perimenopause and the menopause, many women experience strange sensations and they're not quite sure if it's the menopause or if there's something else going on. And this can include things like electric shocks, pins and needles, and getting a crawling feeling all up and down the inside of their skin. But as I mentioned before, what's happening a lot now is it seems to be internal trembling, vibrations and shaking that can just happen out of the blue. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason for this. So what does it feel like? So women are telling me that it feels like there's just like a mobile phone going off inside of you. So there's that kind of buzzing or vibrating or trembling. It can be all over, or it can just be in very specific areas in the body. It can be caused by falling estrogen. So we do know that falling estrogen can interfere with nerve function. So sometimes the nerves are just misfiring. Something is triggering it, but we don't know what, and that misfiring is then causing all this nerve action of the trembling and the buzzing and the shaking. It can also be due to low iron. It can be due to vitamin B12, vitamin D deficiencies. It could also be due to diabetes as well. So that there's a lot of known symptoms that can cause these vibrations too, but there can also be some that we're really not quite sure of. So the thing to do here, first of all, is if you're getting this trembling or shaking or vibration feeling, is to get this checked by your doctor, just to rule out those conditions that I've already mentioned. If all is well, then we know that it's possibly just due to fluctuating estrogen levels. And especially for those of you in the perimenopause who are still getting periods of some kind, you may find that this happens maybe in the week to a fortnight before your periods and doesn't appear at any other time of the month. And again, that's a really good indication that it's just fluctuation or plummeting estrogen that's triggering all this nerve misfunction here. So the main things to do, again, to help calm the nerves. So we want to calm the nerves so that they're not revved up the whole time, because they're going to misfire more if your nervous system is on constant alert. So look at decreasing your caffeine. This is a major one. This can really get your nervous system. And I know myself, I do admit I like a cup of coffee, but I find that if I have a cup of coffee, within about half an hour, especially if it's really strong, I end up with palpitations. So my nervous system has just gone into complete overdrive really quite quickly after a cup of coffee. So it's about reducing caffeine intake, maybe having it with food instead of on an empty stomach. So for those of you that are experiencing this trembling and vibrating, the one thing not to do is have a cup of coffee the moment you get up, because that's just going to create a downward spiral of your nervous system. So make sure that you have something to eat first before you have that first cup of coffee. We know too that high salt and sugar foods can do this, so it can be after a biscuit or a cake or a bar of chocolate or even a bag of crisps. So again, if you're getting this reasonably regularly, maybe do a food diary and just check what you're eating at what time of the day and what time these symptoms are appearing, and you may find that there is a very specific trigger, and in which case that's something you could then avoid and see how you get on. And we know, as I mentioned before, if the nervous system is all over the place, if you're getting a lot of stress and anxiety, then that can be a big issue as well. So the other things to look for is, and especially if you're a little bit low in B12, is to go with a vitamin B complex supplement, maybe a 50 milligram one. Some women find that just taking an extra B12 supplement, you can get sprays now which are really good. Just a couple of sprays in the mouth first thing in the morning can be really helpful for this. Remember the magnesium to calm the nerves down on a daily basis. You could also look at our menopause support. This contains magnesium in a nice little dose, again, that can help with nerve issues. And remember rest and relaxation, it's so important. If your nervous system is this jangly, it's needing a lot of help and support. So that daily 30 minutes me time, really vital here. Remember the water, because dehydration could be a trigger. Exercise is great because that's going to improve your circulation. And we know for some women, poor circulation can affect nerve function as well. Acupuncture can be another really good one for calming this down, so it's certainly worth looking into. And the other thing which I find really interesting, and I have spoken about this before, is that old injuries and muscle and joint problems that you've had maybe years ago, you know, if you fell off your bike and hurt your shoulder when you were 12 years old, these long forgotten injuries may not have completely resolved, and we know that these can suddenly appear again in the menopause. So if you're getting this trembling and vibrating, but you're also getting maybe aches and pains somewhere where you've had an injury or an accident, then very often it could be due to this coming back affecting the nerve function. And in which case, again, something like acupuncture, or maybe if it's up in this area, craniosacral practitioner or a chiropractor can be really helpful. They can look into this and find out if there's anything physical or structural going on that's causing the trembling or the vibration as well. So I hope you found this one helpful. It does seem to be getting more common for some reason. So if any of you have experienced this and you found something that's really helped, then please share it with us. And until then, I will see you next week for another edition of A Vogel Talks Menopause.